Right, so I am using Codex to back up my ThriveCart Learn courses into Airtable. If you're like, why? ThriveCart's been a little, they released a new course platform or community platform called Thrive Academy, and ThriveCart, while I love the fact that I don't pay for them after having paid for them, 5 years ago with my lifetime license, I feel like every time they come out with something new, they inevitably break something. And there have been some glitches and some issues with the rollout of Thrive Academy, and I just realized while I have all the materials for my courses, I don't have them in like a centralized location to be able to like quickly, rebuild it somewhere else if I needed to. So, that is what I'm working on, but I have 97 courses and I don't even want to think about how many lessons within those courses. And I did not want to be clicking, copying, and pasting my life away. So I use Codex, or I'm using Codex. You can kind of see it working right now, and Airtable. So I started out with Airtable or with Codex, and I said, hey, this is what I want to accomplish. I want to put it in an Airtable base, help me build out the base, and it, basically told me kind of what tables to do. Some of the fields are unnecessary, and I'll probably delete them, but for now, I'm just kind of leaving everything as is. I then went to ThriveCart Learn, and I pulled together basically my course list. And I just basically screenshotted this page until I had all the courses, as a screenshot. I fed it back into Codex, and I said, give me my list of courses so I can keep track of what I've, gotten done and what hasn't. So all these that have stuff here have been backed up. So it gives me the modules for everything, and then the lessons, and within here, I've got basically the lesson content, and this is just like literally everything that's in there, from the HTML blocks to, if I've got a video embed, whatnot, and then the assets have the actual, like, here's the Vimeo link, that sort of thing. It took a little back and forth on the first course I backed up to get it to do what I wanted, and then I saved it as a skill within Codex. So now all I have to do is I basically put in this prompt. I will say this is like using all my usage right now. I tested trying to do it with 5.4 mini, and it just wasn't working as well. So I have been using 5.5. That seems to provide the most consistent results. With 5.4 mini, it kept like being like, oh, it didn't quite catch it, let me go back. And it just seemed like it was going to be using more that way. So basically I'm like, back up this ThriveCart Learn course to Airtable using the workflow I created. Here's the course URL. So basically, and here's the Airtable base. And use the schema pattern. So what that then triggers is computer use. So let me pull this over. Now, computer use with Codex means it's basically acting as you. It's doing all the clicks, and kind of pulling all that information in so it can put it into Airtable. Better than me having to do it. That being said, following kind of Codex's best practices, you see this little arrow here, that's the Codex one. You shouldn't just like let it run willy-nilly, because it is literally acting as you. Now I've set this up so that's only looking at ThriveCart Learn. It's not looking at my transactions or my students or anything like that. When I have it backing up a course, I keep an eye on it. Whether I have dual screens, so I can kind of keep it in one screen while I work on another, or, at night when I'm watching TV, I just kind of have it going and I make sure it's not like clicking to anywhere it shouldn't, basically. Let me see, did it finish? No, it's working on it. Extraction complete for all 4 lessons. Cleaning it now before I add it to Airtable. Let's let it come in. Or I'll like, I don't know, let it run while I do my nail. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. I'm not like watching it. I'm getting other stuff done, and it is doing the heavy lifting. So to me, it's worth it rather than having to go through and click and copy and paste all the different things myself and potentially miss something and then have to go back and check. Like, this checks itself, and I can compare, okay, how many lessons are showing in ThriveCart Learn versus how many are in my Airtable base. And so it just makes it, it's making backing it up a lot easier. I did experiment with buying like $20 in extra credits just to kind of see where that would get me. I'm still kind of debating on that, if I want to invest more just to kind of knock this out, or if I want to upgrade for a single month to the $100 a month plan. Right now I'm on the $20 a month plan. I will say, for a small course, and I'm talking like like this one's 4 lessons, right? It usually takes around 10 to 15 minutes but that's not for like a longer course. I did one that was like 48 lessons or 49 lessons, I think 49 lessons and like a 50th that was a draft. And that one took 40 minutes. So it's not like, just because it was like 10x the number of lessons didn't 10x the amount of time it took. And from what I've researched, it seems like the thinking time is kind of what the usage is. So the amount of usage you get for like 5 hours on the $20 plan gets you like, 45 minutes or so of thinking time, right? So how many courses can you do in that time? Well, you can do one sizable one or one smaller one, or, maybe if we're backing it up, you're gonna go ahead and, drop $100 on extra credits or on a higher plan just to get this done. So that's kind of how I am using Codex and ThriveCart and Airtable to back up my ThriveCart Learn courses without having to do everything myself. Oh, it just added them all in, see? And then it links everything as well. So that's the course, the lessons, module name. And, some stuff is for all students, some is tag restricted. So yeah, so that's how that's working. If you guys, I think this is pretty simple. You can set it up yourself. If you want to save yourself the time, I'd be happy to kind of bundle up my Airtable base with my skill that I created, sell it for, $20 or something, just to make your life a little easier. Let me know if that would interest you or what. So hopefully this is helpful and you guys are getting your ThriveCart Learn courses just backed up somewhere. It's always good to have another source of truth with your content or with your products, just because sometimes sites go down. It's always just good to have a backup. So hopefully you found this helpful.